Bankr bot, AI powered bankers. I mean, you're riding the AI wave, you're riding the crypto wave. I'm excited to dive in with you today, man, because I don't know, you have this sort of rabid fan base. You're unlocking some new magical movements that people can kind of do with AI and with crypto. And so I guess my first question to you is, what was the last thing you used Bankr for?
The last thing I used Bankr for, just looking at my chat, it was to pull up the market details and chart of the Bankr coin in Telegram.
Let's
Just
go.
ask my little money buddy.
My little money buddy.
Yeah.
All right, man. I would love to just maybe level set here before we get into some more of the nerdier stuff. I'm really curious about the origin story here because I think there's some great lore that you have in your history.
Yeah. Lore is a big part of the project. So origin, I think, got to go back a little bit. 2024, spent all my time building on Farcaster, social experiments, started with a project called Ham, which was very much like a meme community social experiment inspired by what DGen was doing initially with the tipping on Farcaster, experimented with on-chain tipping, much like Noise is doing today, where you like or comment and it instantly deducts on-chain. I launched the L3 as part of that project. L3s make sense for microtransactions, in my opinion. So like we had Ham chain, and so it was processing like hundreds of thousands of tips per day on Farcaster. Okay, so that's kind of the background. Like I realized building in and on the social feed, super interesting, super powerful. Then agents started hitting the scene on Farcaster. You had the higher agent, Ethernet, some others. Then Clanker hit the scene. People are deploying coins in the social feed. And I was talking to my business partner, who's my co-founder on Bankr, and we had launched and sold a company prior in 2021, NFT company. And we were always looking for like kind of the next thing to do. And through our conversation, we're like, well, this is what's happening on Farcaster. People are launching coins. And then we landed on the idea, well, what if you could like buy coins in the social feed? And through that conversation is what sparked the prototype of Bankr. And it was simply just, hey, Bankr, buy me this coin. So people would launch a Clanker. And what comes to mind is Dick Butt. A lot of people bought Dick Butt through the social feed on Farcaster and like made a killing, which was really cool. And then like that kind of validated the idea, like, wow, like this is letting people get into these social signals early, right? Because you have money in your Bankr wallet, you can just tag Bankr, buy me this coin, a minute later it's in your wallet. Kudos to the Farcaster team, like leaning into crypto now, like now their baked in wallet is like super cool. But through the early validation, I realized, wow, like once I started building an agent, I realized agents are the future of how we do things. Right? It's like such an easier experience, and it really is kind of like the science fiction, or like the Jarvis experience, right? That's where we're headed, and like it starts with the chat-based interface, because voice is, once you have chat, like voice is easy. You just turn the voice into chat, and then so that's what we're building, is like this new interface, this new financial interface.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know, it feels like it's one of those things that you have to experience, and that we're still in this skeuomorphic era where I think a lot of AI builders are really building with like the SaaS mentality in mind. And I think seeing applications come to live in the messaging format, it really stands out to me as like a completely new design space to play around in. And I think, some of the most obvious superpowers, or the way that the Bankr's superpowers are most obvious, are in these group chats. And so, I think I've seen Shane from XMTP out here, bold posting about it. I'm in a couple group chats where on the Base app or in Farcaster, you can kind of bring Bankr into it, and it can start doing things for you. So I'm curious, like what are you sort of seeing in this social dynamic that is messaging based, that is intriguing to people?
Yeah. So before I answer that, let me just address something that you said about the chat based interfaces and like you have to experience them. So like we saw recently, OpenAI is like partnering with a bunch of different companies to integrate it into their chat based interface, and one of them was DoorDash, and the first comment on their X post was like, why would I want to order food through chat? Like the guy didn't get it, and I responded. I said, dude, it's simple. Like it's 3 messages. Yo, I'm hungry. I want to order some food. Okay, he gives you a bunch of results. No, I don't want any of those. I want something healthier. Gives you another result. Okay, that looks good. Send it. It's like one of those things you have to experience, right? And I think when people start experiencing it, they'll get it.
Well, and I also think it's not like the biggest barrier in new consumer products, I think, is getting people to download an app and then getting them to continuously open it up. And chat is just this place that we're in multiple times a day, all the time. And so I think that alone makes it very, very compelling for me.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I'm a daily user of Bankr, like to buy coins.
I can see that you are a degenerate user of Bankr.
I'm a degenerate user of Bankr. I have many other wallets. But Bankr just it's so easy. Just the chat is easy. But going back to the group chats and the social dynamic, I mean that's one of the most powerful things of Bankr. Like other people are making chat-based agents that are crypto related, but our main differentiator is the social piece, right? Like, and you mentioned group chats, and it's such like an unlock. I don't like a few people realize this. You realize this, like what it's enabling is you're adding like Venmo functionality or your bank functionality to a group chat. In a kind of like a decentralized manner, right? And if it's on XMTP, like it is very much a decentralized. And I mentioned Money Buddy, right? Like everything that Venmo does, you can add it now to any social group chat. But not only that, you get analysis, you can trade perps, you can bet on Polymarket. Like
Gold.
This is the future. Gold.
I should have bought the gold as soon as you integrated it. That would have been my best trade of the quarter.
I should have. I just wanted to see like the P&L cards, so I closed my gold position, but I should have kept it open. Gold is bumping. Dude, I never. Here's the thing too. I never ever in my life have bought gold unless it's like, my wife's engagement ring or jewelry. Yeah. But like, I never would have bought it if it wasn't on Bankr. Even like through traditional like interfaces where they've put gold on chain, I still wouldn't buy it. I only bought it because I could message Bankr to buy it.
Yeah, so I think that is a sort of liminal space that people will need to experience to fully get, but I'm very, very confident they're going to get it. I guess some of the big open questions that are in my mind are around, trust and confidence that the bot is going to do what I actually say it's going to do and not hallucinate. And so I'm curious about maybe the stack or the structure, like what is going on behind the scenes that allows Bankr to operate the way it does at the trust level that your users demand.
Yes, so glad you brought that up. From the beginning, when I first started building BankrBot, realized out of the box, LLMs are very bad with handling crypto transactions. Like you do not want to trust like just out of the box ChatGPT or Claude or whatever with financial transactional data. And so early on, I prioritized accuracy over speed, because if people are going to use this thing, it needs to be 100% accurate. If we're going to attract a mainstream audience, like it can't be it messing up. And so from the beginning, we've implemented a lot of guardrails, a lot of checks and balances, a lot of redundancy, so there's systems that are checking systems. Now in the future, as LLMs improve, I think we're going to have to do less and less of that. The LLMs are going to get faster, right? So it does a lot behind the scenes to ensure that it's doing what you actually asked. And on top of that, like some of the guys on the team, when they first joined, like, hey, like, should we add like confirmation buttons? And my kind of thesis is, well, if the agent has to confirm with the user, then it's not doing its job. The goal is you tell the agent what you want it to do, it knows exactly what you want it to do, and it does it for you. There's no additional steps. Like, this is your agent, your banker.
All right, so you have group chats, posts, and also there's a private terminal for, I guess, maybe some of the more esoteric things you want to go do. And I think you've teased a mobile app. I guess I'm curious about this roadmap. I want to know what your mental model is for the future that you're using to make the decisions on what to build next with.
Yeah, so where we're at today, we just launched Telegram. We're integrated in other places like the base app, XMTP, like you said, private terminal on X. Telegram is big for us. There's a lot of traders and people in crypto who are not on crypto Twitter, believe it or not. And they
save their sanity.
They're in Telegram groups and they get information on YouTube. And so I think Telegram is a no-brainer. So get there and join a bunch of trading groups, and like we're going to be splitting fees with like groups. So if you add Bankr to your trading group, and you're going to earn fees. But our like many others goal is like to build a product that makes it easier for more people to capitalize on these financial opportunities on chain. Okay, like a lot of people have that goal, right? I think that chat is like the easiest way to do it. But so, and part of like accomplishing that goal in our minds is a mobile app, like just the distribution that we can get, like can attract more people who may not be on X or may not be through, may not want to use the private terminal or can't really use like a computer or web browser or don't on their phone. So mobile app is big for us. Like that's our North Star, right? Like, how do we make it as easy as possible for people to participate in this new economy, right? Like new things are happening in the world of crypto. We're finally at this place like, wow, it looks like the world is coming on chain, like for real this time. And we'll see, like, hopefully it stays that way, but like that seems to be the direction where everything is pushing, right? So we want to be ready when this next wave comes, which is coming, to be like the easiest way to do these things and like attract these new people.
So one of the interesting things that I think we're like, I guess the open space that you're playing in is the space between private and public. And I've had this conversation with Tim and crew over at Bracky, and the desire of me to sort of go do a transactions in a timeline on the feed in a public space versus the type of transactions that I'd want to do privately myself. And I think really started to, I had to struggle or think through where and when I would do each. And so I'm curious if you're seeing different types of behavior in the more public channels that you support versus maybe the more private ones individuals are interacting in.
Yeah, I think like, speaking for myself personally, like I do trades on the timeline to, obviously showcase Bankr, but also like if I actually believe in something, it's like a signal to people who follow
some
me,
clout
right?
chasing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a farming, I guess, is the better way of framing it.
Or farming, and like, but like also that kind of lends to the whole like more opportunity for more people. Like I don't know much about leverage trading or perps, but like if somebody who does know about that is like opening positions in public, and I'll add, like, this is a new kind of trader, right? The vibe trader, I like to say. But like, if there's like a vibe trader that knows what they're doing and I can copy their position, then like, and I make money, like that's a service that they're doing, right?
What is
But
a vibe trader?
the vibe trader. So I was vibe trading last night in Telegram. I'm asking Bankr questions. Hey, like, what are some top coins? Can you do analysis on this? Can you do analysis on that? Okay, if I was going to open a position right now, like, at what level should I set limit orders? At what level should I set stop loss? So, like, it's like vibe coding, except for trading, right? You're kind of leaning on the intelligence of the AI to guide your decisions.
So funny how there was such almost like a disdain for the word vibe coming out of the end of like the big tech, millennial tech bubble. And now it's probably the word that's going to define the next 10 years.
Yep.
Vibe.
Yeah.
It's like Uber for X. It's vibe for Y.
Vibe for Y.
Vibe
Yeah,
trading,
exactly.
vibe
Trading,
videos, vibe
coding.
coding.
Yeah.
What else could I vibe? Vibe investing.
Vibe investing.
All right. So give us I know that we sort of talked a little bit about your roadmap, but I know there's a bunch of people from your community here in the stream right now. Hello, folks. What is the thing that you are most excited to share with them that maybe they don't know just yet?
Well, we keep it pretty public and open. Like, I think the stuff that's on our roadmap, we've talked about publicly, right? Like, the big thing is the mobile app. The big thing, like, staking is coming. We're implementing a security module, right? Like, going back to the
Tell me more about that, because it feels like there's sort of like this thread of value creation capture. You're talking about fees. I think you have a subscription of people supporting you. How does that all come together to support the business of Bankr?
Yeah, so there's a few different revenue streams. Like, the one that I'm most bullish on is the Bankr Club subscription. You sub monthly using the Bankr coin, and you get unlimited messages and other perks and occasional airdrops, right? Like, Avantis airdropped and Syndicate airdropped the community, and, like, we're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars, like, for this $20 a month subscription, which makes me think maybe we should raise that price. So there's different revenue streams, and going back to the security piece, we want people to feel confident, and so we're introducing what we're calling the security module, and other protocols have done this, where basically you're going to be staking Bankr coin to help ensure the protocol, right? If Bankr makes a mistake and funds are lost, then we're going to pull from the security module. But so there's a risk there, but I did the math, and, like, Bankr, compared to the number of messages that are sent to Bankr and the ones where a mistake was made, there's like 99.99% accuracy, right? So risk is low, but if you want to participate in this security module, then you stake Bankr, and you're going to earn from Bankr Club subscriptions, from swap fees. So, like, those are going to feed into the
Awesome.
reward pool.
All right, Deployer, we got to leave it there, man. Wonderful to check in. I love seeing your casts posts come across my timeline, and it's going to be fun to sort of look back on those in the timeline of development here of Bankr, and just kind of wild to think of where we'll be in a year. Hopefully we can check in before that and see what's new. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Thanks for having me on again. See you,
brother. Cheers.